Next on our agenda item is roll call, and let the record reflect that present in person, 4 members, Lisa Callahan, Sharon Hawley, Denise Mormon, and me, Jackie Lavoy. Next item is public forum. Those wishing to address this committee may submit public comment through the online public comment form or by sending an email to the city clerk. Comments received prior to 4 p.m. the day before the meeting will be provided to the committee and added to the record, but will not be read during the live meeting. Public comments received after 4 p.m. the day before the meeting will be included in the record, but may not reach committee members before action is taken. Public comment, whether on action items or public comment, is limited to 3 minutes per person. Unused time may not be reserved by the speaker nor allocated to another speaker. The public may comment on any matter that is not specifically included on an agenda as an action item or comment on a specific agenda item. Items not included on the agenda cannot be acted upon other than to place them on a future agenda. Additionally, if you wish, you can comment in person at the meeting or use the raise your hand feature in Zoom if you are participating by phone. Is there any public comment? Nope. Item 1.4 is approval of the agenda. And it appears that we will need to table in the agenda item 3.1. Actually, retract that. So we'll go ahead and leave 3.1. So we'll look for approval of the agenda.
Lisa Callahan, I move to approve the agenda.
Sharon Hawley, I second that.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The agenda has been motioned, seconded, and approved. Item 1.5 is approval of the minutes from our meeting of August 8th.
Lisa Callahan, I'll move to approve the minutes from the August 8th meeting.
Sharon Hawley, I second that.
All in favor of approving the minutes from August 8th signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Let the record reflect that the minutes are approved. 2.1, presentations from businesses and organizations in and around the city of Fernley who offer services and benefits to senior citizens. Do we have anyone making presentations today? No. Next, 3.1, administration of oath to our newly appointed committee member.
Please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Jordan Hicks, do solemnly swear that I will support,
do solemnly swear that I will support,
protect, and defend
protect, and defend
the Constitution and government of the United States
the Constitution and government of the United States
and the Constitution and government of the United States of Nevada
and the Constitution and government of the United States of Nevada
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
whether domestic or foreign,
whether domestic or foreign,
and that I will bear true faith,
and that I will bear true faith,
allegiance,
allegiance,
and loyalty
loyalty
to the same.
Any ordinance,
Resolution,
resolution,
or law of any state notwithstanding,
or law of any state notwithstanding,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
all the duties of the office of the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee
all the duties of the office of the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee
on which I am about to enter.
on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a big calendar. Calendar.
Hi, I'm Jackie. Nice to meet you. Next item on the agenda is possible action, discussion and election of chair and vice chair of the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee. Since I have termed out from both of those positions, it is my recommendation that, that Lisa Callahan be elected as our chair and that Denise Mormon continue as our vice chair.
Sharon Holly, and I second that.
All in favor of the nomination of Lisa Callahan as chair and Denise continuing as vice chair of the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any objections? So that passes. So at this point, do Lisa and I switch? Okay. Gosh, I got a lot of stuff to move.
Okay, we will. It is a different view. This is a different view also. Okay, are we ready? Okay. Next on the agenda is item 3.3 for possible action. Reappoint members to the various subcommittees, communication, partnership, events. Is there any comment or discussion of what position that you'd like to continue or change or?
Denise Mormon, for the record. I'd like to continue on the Communications Committee, please.
Jackie Lavoy, for the record, I would also like to continue on the Communications Subcommittee.
Sharon Holly, I would like to continue with events.
Lisa Callahan, I would like to continue with partnership. And the open position is events, and Jordan be working with Sharon on that. So you guys can get together, and cooperate on that. And believe we look at this once a year, the subcommittees and what we're doing. So do we need to make a motion? Okay. Do we have a motion to reappoint members for the subcommittees?
I move that we reappoint the members to the subcommittees as they volunteered.
Jackie Lavoy, I'll second that motion.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So the motion passes. So we have reappointed Denise and Jackie to communication, Lisa to partnership, and Jordan and Sharon to events. Item 4, staff reports. 4.1, subcommittee reports on, but not limited to, attending the recent spectacular event at City Hall and participating with the city on the local road safety plan. Does anyone have any comments about those events?
Sharon Holly for the record. As usual, the Spooktacular was really, really a great event. We had a lot of participants and everybody was so nice and respectful. So it was a great event this year.
Lisa Callahan, I agree with Sharon. It was a fantastic event. Um, Lots of kids, families, and everybody was so appreciative. And it was steady for pretty much the 3 hours. And it was just really fun to see everybody having such a good time. So we really hope that it will continue at City Hall in the future.
Jackie Lavoy for the record. As far as the local road safety plan, we first met on September 22nd, and there were representatives from Nevada Highway Patrol, Lyon County Sheriff's Department, Nevada Department of Transportation. The acting city manager was there. There were people from the city engineer's office, the county road department, and the school district. So there were quite a few people in attendance at the initial meeting. Kimley Horn facilitated. They provided slides about needs to identify areas, certain roads that needed improvements or additional safety measures. There were a lot of statistics involving collisions and injuries or deaths and those sorts of things. And then a lot of the data relates to whether there's signals, no signals, if there's segmented access to main roads, or if they're on local streets, or all sorts of criteria goes into these statistics that get put together by, in this case, Kimley Horn. After the initial presentation, we broke into 2 groups, and they had very, very large maps that we each were looking at and identified further areas that we thought needed to be considered, at least to be looked at for something possible to be done. Then we met on October 7th, and we went on basically field trips. So NDOT provided vans and drivers, and we split into 2 groups, and we went and actually drove to all the locations, splitting them. So one group went basically to the south and the west, and the group I was in went a little bit north out to the cemetery area, and then east as far as where Farm District connects on to 50. And we had many, many stops along the way. 10 or 12 that we stopped at and looked at lighting and striping and crosswalks and speed limits and just all sorts of factors, access and ingress, egress, all those things. And it was a great event, and to see it from a different side instead of just driving through it, to actually be focused on all those different aspects of potential safety improvements that could be made. And so we did that in the afternoon, and then we took a break for a couple hours, and we were supposed to reconvene, I think it was at 6 o'clock, and go and look at the same sites, the same 2 groups going to their separate sites, and see what it looked like in the dark. And there was some miscommunication, I guess, because the rest of my group didn't show up. There were about 8 people in each group at that point. But only, I think it's Deputy Sheriff Mitch Braggington, is that Browningham? He and I are the only ones who showed up for our group, so I got into the cruiser, and he and I drove around and checked out all the places, and I made notes and all of that. And then we submitted our information to Kimley Horn, and they are supposed to be working up some kind of a project for implementation of improvements, and the strategies that they're putting together, I think, from what we were told then, are supposed to be available to the city, to be provided to the city this month. And then some sort of a report is due in December, and then the completion of the project as far as what their suggestions are, recommendations are, is March 2026. So that's really all I have.
When's your next meeting?
And we do not meet again, to my knowledge. We just, I think, are waiting for these reports to come out November, December, and then in March to the city. And then I'm just anticipating that there'll be some follow-up with the city on identifying these very areas and what the city needs to do, because a lot of these roads are not city responsibility. Farm District, for instance, is NDOT, and the deterioration and the striping and all that the city can't go out and take care of that. NDOT has to. So I think Kimley Horn reaches out to the various entities that are oversee or own a particular road and advise them of what they feel Kimley Horn feels needs to be done to make improvements for safety and all that. That's all I have.
Yeah, I have a question. Lisa Callahan. So is Kinley Horn part of NDOT, or is it an outside contractor?
It's an outside contractor, and I believe was hired by the city.
No, that's very interesting, and I think going to be very, very helpful when we get that report to make suggestions as what we need in the city. Okay. Moving on to number 5, items requested by committee members. 5.1, for possible action, updates, and discussion on the establishment and organization of the FSCAC Angel Tree for 2025. So do we have information? I did see the advertisement in the newsletter that we are taking applications at this time. So do we know where we stand on the progress of what we're going to do?
Jackie Lavoie, for the record. So we're delayed on this because these are obviously dates and applications and things that should have been created a month ago, but we weren't able to meet. So that's fine. I have thankfully saved notes and emails from last year, and I've come up with some dates so we can get started on this. And we will need definitely to have some sort of an application drawn up. Last year, this is the one that we had used, and I scanned this and I emailed it to Casey yesterday to see if he could rework it, and he said I don't know, it's all this jargon that I don't understand. Anyway, there's no way for him to get in here without spending a whole bunch of time and revise this for this year. And hopefully somebody here has the capability of creating a new one. It's not a lot of information. Problem for me is I don't do this stuff.
I don't either.
So,
I can look at it. I'm not sure what I've got, what capabilities I've got.
okay.
Lisa Callahan, I think my husband might be able to do that.
Oh, really? Okay. So you know what? I will forward, but I can forward this to you,
Forward it to
just like
me.
I did to Casey and then to Denise and Lisa, and see if you can work some magic. And it goes on into the second page, which it really shouldn't. It should just be a one-page document, but it's because of whatever information is embedded in this program when it was developed. And then if you can get it all on one page, and it's not a lot of typing, it's just, like I said, it's that image that I don't do.
Yeah, he's good with Photoshop.
Okay, all right, so I'll send this to both of you and see what you can work out. So here's the situation. I don't have my phone with me. Maybe Sharon, can I see yours? So we need a calendar here. So the application, these are dates I'm proposing, just for us to digest and see if they're workable, okay? So the application dates would be November 21st to December 1st or 5th.
November, what was the first one? Jackie?
November 21st. So that's a week from today that we would actually start taking applications. So that gives us time to get this application form drawn up and at City Hall, and the tree needs to go up too. And I did discuss this with Casey, and of course he's more than willing to do whatever he needs to do to get the tree up and all of that. So
We do have a tree.
yes, because it was up last
It's up
year.
last year.
Uh-huh.
It was up last year.
So application dates November 21st to what, should we, December 1st or December 5th?
I would say December 5th. 'Cause I
Okay.
believe we ended up extending last year
I
for
agree.
a few
Okay.
days.
Okay. And so that would mean that all the applications must be turned in by 5, what day of the week is the 5th?
Friday.
So by 5 PM that day?
Mhm.
Okay. And then the tree will be up by November 21st when the applications are available. And it will stay up. So, okay, here's where I get really hung up, and you guys all know I do this is, so the applications are taken by a person, they fill it out, they bring it back, and they need to return it by December 5th. Then, and Casey can do this, and he and I talked about this, and we were total agreement that there just needs to be one window that people come into. And last year it was the clerks because of a staff member in the clerk's office was taken and receiving all this. So just to keep it, everything to the clerk, and someone in the clerk's office, if someone comes in to take an application or to return an application, can leave it with the clerk. Or if Casey's available, he'll come out and get it if the clerk's notifying, not him. But if a clerk retains it, then of course they just pass it on to Casey. Then the angels get made based on whatever's on the application. Then it gets put on the tree, right? And there has to be a number that corresponds on the application with the angels, so you know how to match them back up, right? Okay. So from December 5th, the deadline to turn in applications, then we need to determine a period of time that the angels are on the tree for someone to come and grab. So either December 12th or the 15th.
Yeah, I would
And-
go with the 15th.
And the 15th is what day?
It is a Monday.
Okay. So again, till close of business on December 15th, the angels would be on the tree. And then if there's any left, we will address that ourselves when the time comes. Okay? So, okay, so we have those dates. December 15th, yes, okay.
So on the 15th, we'll have all the angels on the tree.
Yes.
Correct.
And then I'm proposing that the distribution date would be that Friday, which would be the 19th, just because we're so close to Christmas, but we still have to allow time for all these other things to happen. So December 15th from noon till 5 would be distribution in the fishbowl like we did last year.
You said the 19th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a Friday.
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
Okay.
Okay.
My thing is, I don't understand how the angels are on the tree. So somebody has to come in and pick up the angel
Yes,
and
and
then
that,
get the presents.
yes, so that would give them 10 days for the pickup angels and to shop, right? And to bring the gifts back. And then we would have a few days,
Right, that's only 4 days.
no,
till the
from,
19th.
no, because the applications are due by December 5th.
Right.
And then the angels are available from basically December 6th to December 15th. Then the angels, the gifts are returned by December 15th. Last year we did unwrapped. I'm not really sure what the reasoning behind that was. But with this, with it being so close, the return date of December 15th and the distribution date of the 19th, I don't really have a problem with people bringing the stuff back wrapped. Is there any objection to that?
We suggest gift bags?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think gift bags is a good idea. Isn't that primarily what we had last year?
Yes, it is. It actually is. So bring them back with gift bags, and we just have to make sure, and of course I'll discuss this with Casey, that the angel is attached to that gift bag, and corresponds with the application, the number, and all of that. Okay. But I think, yeah, just let them bring them back in bags. And if
Okay.
it's, and there were even things last year that weren't even wrapped because someone like wanted a blanket, you know, so it just had like a bow on it, which is perfectly
Yeah,
fine.
which is fine.
Yeah. Okay, and then pickup date, time December 19th from the, okay. So let me see what else I've got here on my notes.
So do we have a time window on the 19th?
Noon till 5. And as you said, Lisa, that you saw in the newsletter about the angel tree, and apparently Jen from the senior center has been in communication with Casey and some other people asking about, are we doing this again? Are we doing this again? So there is, people did remember it from last year and have interest in us doing it. So
Do you think Kelly can get something in the Fernley Reporter?
I don't really know if Kelly's even involved with the Fernley Reporter, but
Okay.
the editor,
Robert?
you know him, Robert.
Robert,
Sharon, do you
yeah.
have his contact? Because he did last year. We did put a little in the Fernley Reporter, and then Casey or whoever made up a great thing on Facebook,
Facebook.
and then April had it out on the reader board,
Yes.
information about it. So
I think the key this year is going to be the word getting out and
Mhm.
pretty quickly.
Exactly.
Kind of
Yeah.
like starting now.
Now.
So I mean, it was great that Casey added that to the newsletter. And this, because it was, catches your eye right
Mhm,
there, that,
mhm.
oh, angel tree.
Mhm.
And I think those were worth, I think I got my water bill like on Monday
Mhm.
in the last week. So I think people will be seeing it. But we just have to keep the word going.
So, and I can type up all this information and I'll send it to Casey and then he can distribute it since, I can't communicate with all of you that way outside of, meeting. So we'll all have the information, but ain't an angel, we actually need an angel big enough to write information on that hangs on the tree. We can, punch a hole in it, tie it on with yarn or string or whatever. Is that something that your husband could find too, or Denise?
I could try
Okay.
finding
See if-
something.
So I'm
Yeah.
thinking they have to be probably maybe half a sheet of paper in
I mean,
size.
Okay.
Things
you
I've
think?
seen like other places are kind of like, maybe like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not real big, but you got room to write.
So would you say half a sheet of paper would be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I
Okay.
think that would be more than adequate.
Okay.
And Jordan Hicks, for the record, I can help with that as well. And also, I was also gonna mention when you was talking about the application earlier, if you could send it to me as well, just in case y'all can't figure it out, I can see if I could figure out something too.
Okay, that would be great.
Yeah, just let me know whatever the specific requirements that were needed on the application or what information was needed. I could see if I could like reconfigure it because you say you want it all like consolidated on one page. Okay, yeah, and if y'all can't figure it out, I could definitely help with that. And same with the angel as well. So I'll
Okay,
be able
so
to find some
I'll
stuff.
email this, but I'm gonna have to do 3 separate emails. I'm not sure if you're familiar with our open meeting laws, Jordan, but we cannot, outside of meetings, we can't communicate more than 2 of us, and that includes even by email.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
Madam Chair. So,
Yes.
Jackie, what you can do is you can send that information out to everybody all at once. Everybody can't respond. Please, when you respond, just respond individually back to Jackie. That way the information is out, but you're not having a quorum by having discussions with multiple people. You're just sending the information. If you guys have questions or whatever, going back to Jackie, just do that individually, just to Jackie, not including anybody else. And that way you stay out of a quorum and you stay out of public open meeting law.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
sounds good. I will need
Thanks.
Jordan's email, though. I have everybody else's,
I'll
but I
give it
will
to
need
you.
that. Okay?
Okay, we've got everything resolved for the angel tree. We'll look for the emails from Jackie. Moving on to 5.2 for possible action. Updates and discussion on the future dates of the planting and maintenance program at the Desert Memorial Garden Cemetery in Fernley. I know the day we were to have our last meeting in October, that was postponed. There was going to be a meeting afterwards at the cemetery as to where to place benches and that. Jackie, were you able to attend?
I did, and Sharon was there for a little while also. And is it Trex? Blank for a minute, but anyway, Trex. So they brought over the benches and the planters, and I was there with staff and Sharon, and we talked about where they were positioned underneath that new big gazebo, and that they're very nice. It's really a nice setup. The discussion was then about what they're calling actually a planting day, not only cleanup day, because cleanup day, I don't know, sometimes that has to be coordinated because of mayor's cleanup dates and all that. But obviously, again, in the spring, we'll want to get a scheduled cleanup day, but also a planting day for plants to go into those new planters that Trex just donated. And April Homey, who was there from the city, kind of coordinator of all of this, we talked about April 11th or April 18th being the planting day. I haven't heard back from April since we discussed this in October 16th is the last email we had about this.
Yeah, April sounds like a good time because hopefully we're thawed. Has there been any suggestions on what we're going to plant, or have we addressed that?
Actually, yes, Jackie Lavoie, for the record. Is his name Randy? The
Yes.
amazing knowledge of plants and what does well here in our climate and, you know, with the water and heat and all the things. And he has some really, really great ideas. And I feel like we are all just going to defer to him on what should go in those planters.
That sounds great.
He was great.
Good idea.
Okay. So moving on to
Madam
numbers.
Chair,
Yes, Mr.
Uh,
Councilman Torres.
Albert Torres for the record. I might suggest as well that if we can possibly save any money on what's going to be planted there, that the SEAC reaches out to whoever has any type of plants in town, as far as like Lowe's or anybody else who carries them when the season starts, and ask for donations instead of us paying for anything.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Do we have any, I know we have Lowe's, Walmart. Do we have, I don't know, I know there's some in nurseries in Fallon, but I don't know if we have any private nurseries in Fernley.
Not that I know of, but we should be able to secure a donation letter showing who we are and who are that we're affiliated with part of the city. Probably from the city attorney's office, or I don't know if the clerk's office has something like that. And then we can, when we go to talk to them, we can bring that with us, and we can also hit up the Fallon nurseries as well as anybody in Fernley.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And actually last year about this time, we were working on a donation letter for the fans. And I still have copies of the, I don't know if it was ever I don't think it was ever finalized, but I've got copies of the suggestions and notations. And so we might look at that also. Okay. Anybody have anything else?
Yeah, excuse
Mr.
me,
Jordan?
Madam Chairwoman, Jordan Hicks for the record. For the donations, could they only come from nurseries, or is there,
No,
so they come from anybody?
they could come from I think they could come from anybody.
Okay, I
And
think,
we can use it to,
okay, I got a lot of contacts at the American Legion Post 16 in Fallon, and I could reach out to them there to see if they can have some donations for us. And I got a couple of clubs that I'm affiliated with on the base in Fallon, that could probably provide donations as well. So I could reach out to like all their members and see if that's like a possible thing as well.
no, that would be great, because then we can use it to purchase plants. We need be.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay, I'll work on that.
thank you.
No
Thank you.
problem.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay, item 6, address requests for future agenda items. Anybody have anything?
Jackie Lavoie, for the record. Since our next meeting is December, we should probably what?
December 12th.
We should probably discuss dates for the fan drive, so we don't get too behind the curve on that. And
I
then
agree.
also, hopefully by then, we'll know about whatever clean sweeps the mayor has scheduled for this spring, so we can coordinate our cleanup at the cemetery date.
Okay, that sounds good. Anybody have anything else? And, okay. Item number 7, is there any public forum? Okay. There's no public forum. We are adjourned.